What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. I got an exciting video today that I've been putting in work to get together for the last week and a half. I'm very excited to finally release it for you all. Before I get into it, please, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please take some time to do so. Hit the notification bell. Lots of good things on the horizon for my channel. We just hit 3,000 subscribers, so I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. But with that being said, this video is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And as you can read on the screen, the comic industry isn't dying. And here's the proof. This is what we're going to be talking about today, guys. I did a video last week discussing a back and forth that I had with individuals about how comic books are dying. You know, all these all it is gimmicks these days, and nobody's getting into the hobby. Nobody's buying books anymore. Nobody's buying new comics. And I provided all the numbers. I said, look, the profits are more than they've ever been. I looked at unit sales. I looked at dollar amount month to month. We looked at new release sales. We looked at online digital sales, and I said, it's healthy, it's healthy, it's healthy. But there's still so many naysayers out there. And I have my personal opinions to why people want to be naysayers. But I'm not even going to get into that. We're going to look at the proof that I have today, guys. I actually polled the community, guys. And I know it's a sample size, but as for somebody that understands statistical data and statistical analysis, this is a very decent and healthy sample size, okay? I got about 150 individuals, comic collectors, to poll, and I asked them a few basic questions like, how much money do you spend on comics every month? And I also asked them, how much money do you spend on new releases, or how much of what you spend is on new releases? Now, keep in mind, guys, we're going to be looking at new releases specifically, not modern books, but new releases, okay? So let's go into this. Okay, the first thing we need to understand is this right here. On average, a comic collector spends, on average, $410 per month on comics. Okay, this means that all of the individuals that I polled, you had some individuals that said they spent $2,000 a month. You had some individuals that said they only spent $20 to $30 a month. The average of all that together came out to $410 a month, all right? Now, 178 of this is averaged on new releases, okay? So, on average, let me rephrase this. When a customer spends $410 on comic books every month, 178 of that is on new releases. So that equals roughly 44 books. So that means the average collector buys 44 new releases every single month. So they're hitting up New Comic Book Wednesday, and they're grabbing, roughly 10 or 11 copies every week, because you estimate 4 weeks in a month, right? 44 new releases. Again, that's not modern books. That's specifically new releases. That's a decent size, guys. All right, let's move on. In dollars, collectors spend an average of 43% of their budget on new releases. But 52% of all comics purchased are new releases. So let me explain what this means, guys, and we'll look at this more further down the way in the video. But basically, on average, if somebody spends $100, $43 goes to new releases, right? But you have outliers to where the 52% of all comics purchased means in total, right? When you take the total amount of everyone that was polled, and you take the total dollar amount spent, and then you take the total dollar amount spent on new releases, 52% of all money spent was on new releases. But the average collector, about 43% of their budget goes to new releases. So maybe the average collector spends a little bit more on back issues, but you can look at that as being, well, sometimes back issues cost more money than a $3.99 cover price book. So ultimately, They may be buying more new releases, but they buy that one key book and it takes up, a little more than half of their budget for that month. That's one way to look at it. Let's move on, guys. All right. This is a really awesome chart here that I want you guys to understand. And it's out of a sample size of 147. Okay. 40 people. Let's look at the top left, guys. 40 people said that 90 to 100% of the comics they buy and of the money that they spend month to month is on new releases. That's more than any other bracket on the screen, guys. 40 people say they spent 90 to 100% of their budget on new releases. That is huge. Now let's look at this breakdown. 21% said they spend 70 to 89% on new releases. 25 people said they spend 50 to 69% on new releases. 15% of people said they spent 25 to 49% on new releases. 21 people said they spend about 10 to 24% on new releases. 11 people said they spend 1 to 9% on new releases. And only 14 people out of 147 say they don't buy new releases at all. All right? Now let's look at this. Let's look at the color boxes below. The green, the yellow, and the red. So basically, 86 people, that's way more than half. 86 people spend at least 50% of their budget on new releases. Okay? And then 47 of them spend at least some amount of money, from 1% to 49%, on new releases. Okay? Only 14 people out of the 147 people polled do not buy new releases. So the total amount of collectors that do not buy new releases, 9.52%. So not even 10% of collectors are out there saying that they don't buy new releases at all. That's huge. But look at this. 86 is what? That's like 60%. Over 60% of the individuals polled spend over 50% of their budget on new releases. That says something, guys. It says something. Contrary to probably some popular belief out there that some of you guys hold. All right, let's look at this, guys. This is the total. This shocked me, and the next slide is going to be even more shocking, guys. Okay. The amount of money that people are putting into this industry, and let me just talk about this real quick before I get into these numbers. People are buying comics. Okay, if you didn't see that already from the first screen, $410 a month about everyone's spending on average every month, whether it's back issues, whether it's new releases. That's a lot of money going into this industry and into this hobby, right? All right. Now, regardless of what they're spending on new releases, okay, people are putting money into the hobby every month. Look at this. Total money spent on comics per month out of everyone that I polled, $50,550. Now get this. Total money spent on new releases per month, $26,000, $150.49. That equals 52%. So remember when I said on that first slide that 52% of the total amount of money spent was on new releases. Out of all the money spent, out of all these individuals every month, more than half of what they are spending is going to new releases, guys. More than half. But people want to say new comics don't sell. Nobody's buying new comics. More than half of the money going into it is going to new releases. $26,000 a month for just 147 people. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Take that in. Let's go to this next slide. Out of the people that I polled, the 147 individuals, okay? If we break this down by year, total annual expenditures on new releases, guys, $313,805.88. Guys, that's only 147 people. $313,805.88. Now, the total annual expenditures on the secondary market out of 147 people, 606,600. Out of 147 people, total annual expenditures on comic books, $920,405.88, guys. That's almost $1 million. That's almost $1 million. 147 people are putting almost $1 million, $1 million into the comic book industry, the primary and the secondary market every year. And you guys want to tell me that the comic book industry is dying? It is not. It is not. The proof is in the pudding, guys. The proof is in the pudding. Now, if you break down that $313,000 spent on new releases every year, that equals over 78,000 books. 78,000 books. New releases. 78,000. And that's for 147 people, guys. Now, I'm sure I'm still going to get the naysayers commenting in the videos. And hey, look, I welcome the comments. But the proof is here, guys. People are buying comic books. People are buying new releases. And they are spending a lot of money. If you guys saw that the majority of people are still buying new releases. The majority of people are spending half of their money on new releases. All right? Look, you guys can look at the industry and where it is right now, and you cannot like it. That's fine. The industry has evolved. The industry is not what it was even 10 years ago, necessarily, but especially 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's evolved. It's changed. All right? Cutbacks that we see in DC and even Marvel do not mean the industry is dying. Okay? In my other video, I use Apple as an example. They cut back their workforce and they streamline their product and cut back their product. Quality over quantity. That's what's happening right now. Okay? Because of technology, things are changing. There's more money going into digital, okay, which is a healthy market. There's more money going into trade paperbacks, but at the same time, there is more money than ever in the print market. 2019 saw more money ever in the print market, and that's only in the primary market. We're not even talking about the secondary market, guys. And for those who say the secondary market doesn't matter because it doesn't go straight to the publishers, it does matter because it shows you this $606,000 a year from 147 people on the secondary market shows how engaged comic collectors are in the comic book hobby. And we all know that a lot of that money that goes into the secondary market does two things. One, it keeps LCSs afloat, guys. There's big money in the secondary market for your local comic shops. We forget that or something? And the second thing that it does is it keeps money circulating where some of that money goes back into the primary market. Because we know there's a lot of people that trade up or flip, and go buy something else, maybe in the primary market or vice versa. The secondary market matters because maybe some of these people are spending money in the primary market and then selling it to go buy a blue chip key on the secondary market. The secondary market and the primary market correlate to the total health of the industry. You cannot deny that. And I'm sorry, guys, I am not here to be on a high horse. But I am grateful that I have a business background and I'm able to break this down because I'm just going to be honest. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people that don't understand business talk about what this industry is doing. and what matters and what doesn't matter. I'm not saying I know everything, but the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the numbers, and you got to understand how to break them down. The comic book industry is healthier than ever before. Is it flawed? Always. No industry is healthy. No industry is bulletproof. Okay? Ebb and flow, peaks and valleys, up and downs. There's risks every day. Okay? There's uncertainties every day. And you can look at the COVID market right now. Look what's happened because of COVID. We don't know what type of effect is going to happen on the market once, if ever we go back to normal, right? I mean, we could see some money being pulled out from the comic book industry, or this COVID era could have actually brought more money into the hobby to where it lasts and it stays in the hobby. We never know. You never know. But regardless of COVID or not, guys, these numbers that I showed were going on for years prior to these last 8 months. There is money in the market. There's money in the primary market. LCSs are struggling because of the evolving market and they need to adapt. But, there's many of them out there that are still extremely successful. All right. Even during COVID, people are buying comics. People are reading comics. People are speculating on comics. Speculation has always been there. And the market is what it is. And to be quite honest, if you don't like what it is, it's not affecting you. It's not affecting you. Collect how you want to collect. But don't be a hypocrite. Don't say, well, I don't care about it, and I'm just going to do me. But yet, you spend so much time dwelling on what other people are doing. If you don't like to buy variants, don't buy variants. If you don't like the stories in the new comics, don't read the stories. Buy something else. Collect how you want to collect. Nothing's getting in the way of that. The market is exceptional right now, and I am so happy to be a part of this, especially in this time. It's exciting. It's exciting, guys. So with that being said, guys, that's my video. Let me know what you guys think. Would love to hear how you guys spend your money month to month, how you guys collect. But with that being said, again, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you have not done so yet. And if you're watching this on a Wednesday, guys, go check out A1 Comics live Instagram sales every Wednesday. I got their information linked up below, talking about LCS's, going strong. Big shout out to my LCS A1 Comics guys. Check them out. If you're not following them on Instagram yet, go do so. Again, thank you all. Be well, be safe, and until next time.